As leading scorer, leading rebounder.
He's averaging 15 points, 8 rebounds on the season, but you see right there 20-plus points in his last 3 outings. He's had the hot hand. Jackets will need to check him early.
And Mouhamed Sylla controls the tap for the Yellow Jackets against Andrew Ball, and off we go. High noon, Georgia Tech in Monmouth, just the second all-time meeting and the first in 40 years. Kai Fleming, the freshman who started 3 straight games, tries to drive. The Yellow Jackets coming off that loss against Mississippi State, 85-73. They shot a season worst, 33%. Kowacie Reeves was not the problem, though. He comes through with another 3.
Picked up right where he left off. It was good ball movement there by Georgia Tech. Found the shooter late in the clock. Reeves
now shooting over 40% from 3 this year. Here's a look at Monmouth's starting lineup. Same group they've used in each of the last 3 games now. And Jack Collins, one of their all-time best players, as Rivera-Torres dumps it off to Collins, who is fouled. And it'll be a charge to Lamar Washington.
Collins is the glue guy for the Hawks. He's played over 100-plus games in his career. It was a preseason All-CAA selection. And he kind of does a little bit of everything. He's good on the defense. He talks, communicates, intangibles guy, but he can also rebound and fill it.
And he's also 3rd nationally in minutes played, averaging over 37 minutes a night. And he misses both. Cam Kraft plugged back into the starting lineup for Georgia Tech after coming off the bench Wednesday night. 3-point shooter trying to find a stroke. Washington kick out to Kraft. Reeves from the right wing this time won't drop. And Andrew Ball with the rebound. Zipped inside. And a foul coming here on Sylla. That was Stefanos Spartalis, the freshman from Greece, who has made quite the impression his first month at Monmouth.
Oh yeah, he had a couple back-to-back 18-point outings early in the season. Good-looking freshman. There you see he gets the contact from Sylla.
And Collins sends it to Spartalis on the inbound. Monmouth 5-4 on the season as Collins airballs a long 3. Washington with the rebound. The Hawks played 3 games last weekend, defeating Ball State and Lafayette, but with a surprising loss to Lemoyne. Kai Fleming in and out. Ray won't go for Justin Ray. He went 7 for 7 last time out in the win over Princeton. And last touched by Georgia Tech. There's a look at head coach Damon Stoudemire, now in his 3rd season at Georgia Tech. And John, he was blunt in his post-game press conference saying he needs to find 5 guys who are going to fight. If they don't bring that intensity, if he sees a moment in the game where one of those 5 aren't bringing it, he can take them off the floor.
Yeah, I love his attitude going into this one. You know, get after it in practice, kind of re-emphasize the fundamentals of defense and how to compete, the toughness.
And a hard fall to the floor for Rivera-Torres, another foul. That's 3 now on Georgia Tech.
You know, we're talking about defense. A couple fouls by Georgia Tech right there. The ability to contain the basketball, dribble containment. Monmouth's had some success early on getting into the paint or through transition, getting easy look.
So that's the 2nd foul on Mouhamed Sylla. Rivera-Torres gets Monmouth on the board. That's a big deal regardless, John, but not having Bai Dongo, who is out today with maintenance, was the terminology Georgia Tech used. Not available. All of a sudden that front court a little thinner.
Yeah, Bai's averaging, you know, just shy of 12 points per game, just shy of 8 rebounds per game. So, you know, Peyton Marshall will probably see some minutes, and it's just an opportunity for multiple guys off the bench to step up and spell those minutes from Bai.
And Fleming gliding to the rim. Sylla can't finish, but Monmouth mishandles the rebound, and Georgia Tech will retain possession. So far, both teams struggling to shoot. Combined 1 for 7. Kraft, 3 around and out.
Had a good look at it, squared the shoulders, did everything but drop.
Yeah, Kraft, for whatever reason, has struggled in this building this year, John. He's shooting below 20% from three at home. Away from home, he's shooting close to 60% from three in those 3 games. Speaking of three, there is Spartalis as he splashes one from the left corner.
They're going to get Spartalis off the basketball, running into Sylla. You see, nice looking freshman, steps out, stretches the floor, high release, snap the wrist, follow through. He's feeling it.
And another foul coming here on Andrew Ball. Spartalis, he hadn't even taken a three the last 4 games.
What was the signal he did there? Was that like a Spartan, like Greek? You know, because he is Greek, you know. I think it was the... I'm just trying to follow along. Yes. If getting older, I don't know the lingo, the trends, but I'm thinking he made a reference to Greece there.
Yes.
The Sparta mask.
And Lamar Washington with a three. Senior from Pacific, transferred into Georgia Tech. Spartalis facing up on Sylla now. This team's starting to find their stroke a little bit. And Spartalis, this time from the short corner. You know, is it Thanos perhaps?
It could possibly be it. Georgia Tech gives up the penetrating pass right there into the heart of the defense. That was too easy.
And a turnover for Georgia Tech. Number they'd cut down on here recently, but Monmouth, they penalized Princeton for their miscues on Wednesday night. Good hands from Kraft as he dislodges it. Washington, one-hand pass into the corner. Kowacie Reeves is locked in.
That was a nice job by Washington finding the shooter in the corner. He found Reeves through the left-hand pass, kind of looked off the defense, freed up his teammate for the shot.
That's now 9 threes in the last 40 minutes played for Kowacie Reeves. Good hands from Fleming. Rivera-Torres still has it. Dribbles into trouble, and Sylla picks it up. We've got bodies on the floor on one end, a turnover on the other. Rivera-Torres, too strong. Reeves falling away, doesn't get the roll. So far, both teams doing a pretty good job in the defensive glass. Ball cutting and a beautiful feed, everything but the finish.
It's a beautiful backdoor cut movement off the basketball. We've seen a couple possessions now. Monmouth having success. Georgia Tech, got to see man, see ball. Back to the basic principles.
Reeves goes down low to Sylla, and we got a foul coming here. We'll step aside for the first time. Head coach, his son, saw on the graphic a moment ago, played with Spartalis, as Eric Chatfield Jr.'s threes off the mark, but played with Spartalis in Greece last year. Xander Rice, he had finished 5 years of college ball here in the States. Spartalis had just began his professional career in the era of NIL, chance to come to Monmouth, and he could spend a couple of years with the Hawks and already making that impression as you talked about. By the way, Spartalis did pick up his second foul, so that's why he went to the bench. That was just before he went to commercial break. And then Bug Robinson going up against the 7-footer Peyton Marshall, who's now double teamed down low, and Robinson gets his hands in, forces the turnover on the jump ball.
Quick smother in the post. As soon as the ball touched, they jumped Peyton Marshall. Peyton Marshall brought it down, trying to be tough with it. It's a good tie-up, good effort by the Hawks.
Yeah, one of the numbers that may surprise you for a school out of the CAA, but Monmouth is top 20 nationally in blocked shots. They've got an interior presence.
Yeah, surprisingly, Rivera-Torres has 17 blocks on the season, so it's not coming from a forward or center.
Mm-hmm. And last touch by Georgia Tech, so the Hawks will have 7 to shoot. We've also seen Doc Mordar come in. He's got 13 blocks, the 7'1" center. 3 to shoot's got to go up. Collins, too heavy. Offensive rebound, Ray. No. Another offensive board. That one to Robinson. He'll go to the line.
Right now, Monmouth's winning the 50-50 balls. I know it was a long rebound, Wiley, but they seem to be hustling and have the edge kind of in the intangible column. They're really competing right now.
And that was something that Coach Stoudemire was adamant that had to improve. Even more concerned about that than the results. But he felt like the intensity and the fight has got to improve. And he told the team at shoot-around the day he's going to have a short leash if he sees anything that isn't 110% effort. Another offensive rebound. Georgia Tech catches a break. That Robinson missed that easy layup. And now a turnover in the backcourt. Rivera Torres battling for it. Now Marshall all alone. Needs to go up. He's blocked from behind by Collins. Mordar, there it is. Senior out of South Sudan, transferring in from Cleveland State.
Peyton Marshall got back in the play, but kind of just ran right by the action.
Jaden Mustaf coming off the bench for the first time this year. Washington penetrating, now backing up. Catch.
That's just one-on-one ISO. It made something out of nothing.
Robinson trailing, gets Kraft in the air. A nice touch.
Beautiful finish, using the rim and his body to shield Marshall.
Kraft, a long, tough three. And rising up for the rebound, Rivera Torres.
That's a tough shot. I mean, just one pass east to west, and it's, you know, you're not stepping into it, moving towards the basket. He certainly has that range and can drop it, but to see a couple more passes out of the Jackets with some ball movement, player movement, screening, shoot more in a rhythm.
Well, Monmouth's struggled to get even anywhere near inside the perimeter on this possession. Rivera Torres tries a three, and Lamar Washington another rebound. That's 4 for Washington from the guard spot. And all the way coast to coast he finishes.
He's been the spark plug right now the last couple minutes for the Jackets. Washington now with 7 points.
And he is a coast-to-coast guy, transferred in from Pacific over in California.
He's the only guy on the court right now for the Jackets that has scored a bucket.
Yeah, only 2 Yellow Jackets have scored, period. Kowacie Reeves has the other 6. And a little miscommunication, Mustaf ends up with it. Mustaf leaning towards the rim. That is his biggest strength, John. He can drive to the hole.
Yeah, he's at his best going downhill. He's got great size, great strength, agility. He can finish with the left and the right. That's certainly the strength of his game.
Monmouth shooting below 30% so far today, and foul as Rivera Torres hits the floor. Yellow Jackets leaning on a couple of veterans so far. Kowacie Reeves.
He's averaging 26 minutes per game, 8 points, 4 rebounds per game, and just under 5 assists per game. So his production has been outstanding for minutes played.
You know, back in high school, he was a linebacker. In fact, he played for Coach Damon Stoudemire's cousin, was on the football staff. And they told him back in high school, said, man, if you want to play basketball, you got to lose some weight, because he was a little round. So a shot clock violation out of the timeout. But for Lamar Washington, he said, I went straight to meat and fish. That was it. If I got to hoop in college, I'm going to lose some weight. And he does say he brings a little bit of a football mentality. He likes contact. He says that's the thing he misses most about football, is getting a chance to be a little more physical.
As a great key addition to the Jackets roster. He brings toughness, maturity, and IQ. And he's seasoned. He's played a lot of minutes.
And a couple new faces on the floor now for Georgia Tech as Chaz Kelly has come in. And Cole Kerouac, this is the first time he has appeared in a month in a game. All the way to the lane. Kerouac looking for the offensive rebound. Tries to bat it in. And it will be Georgia Tech basketball. Good hustle play there by the freshman Cole Kerouac.
Yeah, I'm really high on his ability. He's got a high ceiling to his game, athletic. There you see the extension, the long arms. He's been working hard in the weight room. But he's a guy that just needs minutes, and with Dongo out of the game today, the opportunity knocks. We'll see if he can produce.
So 3 freshmen on the floor for Georgia Tech as Fleming left it short. Kerouac another board. Musta lines up a 3. Splash.
Yes, hustle play by Kerouac. He kept that one alive, and the ball found the open man. Kerouac might be the spark plug that the Jackets need.
And that type of effort is exactly what Damon Stoudemire was calling for this morning at shoot around. So largest lead of the day. Meanwhile, for Monmouth, they're shooting just 25% from the floor. It feels like they've gotten some quality shots. Not there, though, as Kerouac blocks it. Second effort air ball. Rivera Torres. Jackets with possession. And Kelly calling on Mustaf to get it. And a turnover.
Wow. Just when Georgia Tech's about to blow it open and pull away a little bit, the turnover bug hits. Like what we see out of Kerouac so far, huh, Wiley? The long arms, the length, you know, still raw to his game, but he's got a lot of skill. And right now today, he's got a high motor, which Coach Stoudemire wants. That's what he's looking for out of this roster. Who's coming off the bench? Who's our spark plug? Against Mississippi State in the loss on Wednesday, very little bench scoring.
Chatfield down the lane, and reaching foul coming here. It's going to be on Anthony Martinez, freshman from France.
What I like about Georgia Tech is, you know, their field goal percentage defense is rock solid right now. Holding Monmouth to 20%, holding to 11%, 1 of 9 from 3, and that was the staple in the 5 wins for sure. The Yellow Jackets holding opponents under 65 points and under 40% from the field, and they're trending towards that today, obviously.
Ball screen from Kerouac for Mustaf. Mustaf trying to take ball on the dribble, hangs, and it's swatted away by Andrew Ball. But Mustaf recovers from the seat of his pants. He gets to Kerouac, only 2 seconds to shoot. He's got to go up, off the window, and in. Cole Kerouac with the left.
Bank work. Kerouac's working out.
The freshman who had played just 2 games this year, about 10 total minutes. Big spark. Can't finish that time.
Oh, big number 8 turned that down. I was about to get fired up for the man. His first opportunity getting meaningful minutes this season. He's delivered so far.
3-point try for Collins, and that's a big shot for their senior leader. That snapped a streak of 7 straight misses from the floor for Monmouth. And a 9-0 Georgia Tech run. And another miscommunication there is Kelly looking for Chatfield, and just before Kelly fired that pass, Chatfield cut, but Cole steals. But he went on to describe his feelings in the moment last night as disgusted. He had lost 3 in a row, and he took that personally.
And I think he's a realist. You know, he's been there 2 years at Florida. He's played in big-time games, and then obviously already 2 seasons under his belt with the Jackets. He knows what's coming. He's a veteran guy. He's been there, seen it, done that, and he knows they're not quite ready for ACC play, and you know, he just wears his emotion on his sleeve.
And Januk Dubel will go to the line. That foul's on Cole Kerouac.
I kind of like Kowacie's approach, though. You know, it's a loss is a loss, regardless of personal accomplishment. Hitting 7 threes, great, but the maturity in those words, he wants to rally his teammates. He's a team guy. He's team first, and that showed in his words.
Yeah, played just those 6 games last year, coming out or missing the season with a foot injury. As Mouhamed Sylla is in for Cole Kerouac. Kerouac gets a lot of applause and fist bumps as he heads to the bench. And Dongo out. Free throw is good from Dubel. So he makes 1 out of 2, and here comes Kowacie.
thought Kerouac was a spark plug off the bench, you know, just in terms of getting guys active. He kept a couple of loose balls alive, offensive rebound. He was sprinting the floor on both sides. Just little things that aren't going to show up in the stat book, but he definitely was a shot in the arm. Got the Jackets buzzing a little bit, Wiley.
Down low to Sylla, 1-on-3. He corrals it, goes up, and he'll go to the free throw line.
And for the Jackets, Sylla, you know, his Achilles heel is free throw shooting. On the season, he's below 40%. And that's not great for the Jackets because he's the leading free throw shooter. So, you know, you don't want to say it's a turnover, but, you know, if you're giving up opportunities to get 2 and 3 points, you're just making 1 at the free throw line, that can be a bad thing.
Yeah, it'll be something he will continue to deal with as he moves forward this season, as more and more teams see that scouting report and know how dangerous he can be. Send him to the free throw line, you neutralize him. This is both. Like you said, John, feels like a turnover.
Yeah, and they know it's not coming out. Sylla on the season, 5 assists. So you can see Monmouth, the Hawks, Coach Rice, when he touches it, he's a threat in there. We're going to double down, sometimes triple down, and let's either foul him or force him to kick out.
King Rice, 4 years as the point guard for North Carolina, late 80s, early 90s, and now in his 15th season as the head coach at Monmouth. Of course, he played in this building a number of times, went 2-2 here in McCamish. Bug Robinson banging on Sylla. Ball just inside the free throw line, won't fall. And Sylla brings it up the floor. Kelly tries to lob it in, and there it is. The Hawks went for the deflection, and once Sylla had it, there was nobody in his way.
It was good early offense by the Jackets. They flowed right into it, and it was a beautiful pass as well. The lob, the touch, Sylla, great hands, and the finish at the rim.
Monmouth shooting just 22% from the floor so far. Ball carves in at the end of the shot clock. It won't go, but saved momentarily, and it'll stick with Monmouth, deflected by Georgia Tech.
See Washington back into the game for Kelly. Kelly was effective in those minutes with the lob pass right there. Give him the assist. Sylla, the high catch, the finish, the strong hands, and that's what he does best.
And that's why Georgia Tech wants to get it into him.
Sure, Sylla on the season, he's played in 9 games. He started all 9, averaging 27 minutes per game, 11 points, just shy of 9 boards. So he's almost a double-double guy.
Spartalis, a little off with the touch there. Lamar Washington all over the glass. That's his 5th rebound today. Sylla leaning in, and it won't drop. Double a 3 after a dribble. Bang. And the lead cut in half.
It's a big shot by Double.
Yeah, he's shooting over 40% from 3 this year in limited playing time. Kowacie Reeves sees daylight, rushes in, pops up, knocks it down. Reeves now with 8. He leads all scorers so far this afternoon.
Double with the ball, you know, he's tall, his length is a little deceiving. 13 of his field goal attempts coming into this beyond the arc out of 25 total attempts on the season.
And another 3 drops. Justin Ray had a massive game against Lafayette on Sunday, had 21 points on just 7 shots. He made all 7. Mustaf into the lane, kicks back out. Washington shakes Double and knocks down the shot.
Put Double on skates, backpedaling, lost him in the paint. Washington, a crafty move right there.
Spartalis, a little too wide open. Mustaf Wildly tries to chuck it up. Kowacie saves it. It'll be a live ball turnover now. Ray's three. An offensive rebound. And then Collins fires it down low. Cutting in, Spartalis. Good ball movement there by Monmouth, and Coach Damon Stoudemire wants a timeout as the lead has been cut to 2. The time Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference Coach of the Year, and while they haven't made it to the big dance yet, you feel like it's a moment of time. Perhaps most impressively, they're looking for their 10th win over a high major with King Rice as their head coach.
And they almost got it early in the season. They had Syracuse on the ropes, and they were up 5 against Seton Hall at Seton Hall early this season.
And they beat Seton Hall a year ago. So empty possession for Georgia Tech out of the timeout. Jason Rivera-Torres started his career at Vanderbilt, now at Monmouth. Too strong. And one of the stories in this first half, John, has been the extra possessions for Monmouth. They've got 9 offensive rebounds. They've forced 7 turnovers. They're getting more bites at the apple than Georgia Tech. They're just not shooting a higher percentage.
Exactly. They've got 30 field goal attempts to the Yellow Jackets' 25 coming out of that dead ball situation. And you said it. It's the 9 offensive rebounds. It's the 7 turnovers they've forced. It's the steals.
Fleming, one dribble. Pivoting off the front of the rim, and his second chance look doesn't fall either.
Fleming, and a nice look at it, but he's struggling today, 0-7. But he's a talented freshman. Ball's not dropping today, but he can do a little bit of everything.
Collins thinks better. The 3 goes to Rivera-Torres. Spartalis on the offensive glass, no. Reeves saves it. Washington. Under 10 to shoot. Kraft slips and loses the basketball. Rivera-Torres, transition 3, drills it.
And that started with the veteran Collins on the defensive end. He just got to the loose ball. Kraft hit a wet spot, and they convert the turnover to quick offense on the other end.
And Monmouth with their first lead now since the opening minutes of the first half. Lob to Sylla, tries to one-hand jam. Rivera-Torres on Kraft, and that's going to be goaltending on Mo Sylla.
I'm not sure what Mo was thinking on that one. He went straight up, and you got to pull back on that. Ball was above at the top, coming down, going towards the top of the cylinder. You see it right here. It's on the way down, and he grabs it. But it is a nice display of his athleticism.
Yes.
That was vertical leap, no steps, and he's hands at the top of the square.
We saw him get called for goaltending for Mississippi State's first points on Wednesday night. Final minute here in the first half.
You know, Dongo's out today, but the duo down low, that's why they're having success holding teams under 40% from the field on the season.
The jump ball will belong to Georgia Tech. There you see Mo Sylla and by Dongo. Dongo, you missed it earlier, he's out due to maintenance.
Probably just has a few nagging injuries, and want to get him rested up for ACC play. Definitely a big loss for the Jackets, though.
Kind of get a head start on that 10-day break as well. Georgia Tech will not play again until December 16th after finals against Marist. Washington's got to get it in. Gives it up to Kerouac. Switch on from Harvey to Robinson on Mustaf. Now Reeves gliding down the lane, and a blocking foul called here.
King Rice was not happy, thought that whistle was late. We'll get a look at it right now. No, I think King's argument was Reeves created all of the contact by jumping into the defender, And he's biting his tongue. He's biting his lip right there. I don't blame him.
Sometimes you just got to grimace and smile, I suppose, as Reeves hits the first free throw.
He's got 15 years on the Monmouth sideline. He knows how to get to the next play.
He does.
I'm sure he learned that from the great Dean Smith.
So Eric Chatfield Jr. coming in. Reeves misses the second. Mustaf with the offensive rebound, and he'll go to the free throw line.
So Georgia Tech gets the 50-50 ball. That was up for grabs. But free throw shooting, Wiley, has been a challenge for the Jackets. Not only in this game, they're just 1 of 4, so they're not getting to the line. They're shooting 25% when they get there, but on the season, it's an area they've struggled in.
Mustaf hits the first. Georgia Tech second to last in the ACC in free throw shooting. As you pointed out, though, I mean, you can attribute a lot of that to Mo Sylla's struggle because he's gotten there more often than anybody, and he has struggled to hit those free throws. So you can see bottom 10 nationally. Mustaf hits both of those. So back tied at 29 here in the final seconds. And King Rice wants a timeout. So Monmouth can try and draw something.
Probably try to collapse the defense, whether that's a dribble ISO or ball screen roll replace action. They want to get something going downhill, north-south.
Jason Rivera-Torres, their leading scorer on the season, 7 points today. It's Justin Ray, and he knocks it down. Pure shooter, freshman from Greer, South Carolina.
Georgia Tech had the 3 covered, but Ray did a nice job. The rip through to the right, created space.
Chatfield with 3, kicks it out. Reeves has got to chuck it, and he is fouled. With 0.4 of a second on the clock, that's going to be 3 shots for Kowacie Reeves, and the senior Jack Collins is disgusted.
He is. You can see the look on his face. It's just his momentum is just carried him into the shooter. That's his first foul in the game. An errant pass. Wrong place at the wrong time for Collins.
And if the clock isn't winding down, there's no chance Kowacie shoots that.
Yeah, Kowacie heady play. He went right into the shooting motion. So he was aware of how much time was on the clock.
And he has been Georgia Tech's best free throw shooter this season.
I mentioned it earlier, Kowacie's coming off that 7 3-point effort in the loss against Mississippi State, and today he's the leading Georgia Tech scorer with 10 points. He's 3 of 6 from the field, 3 of 4 from the line, 2 of 4 from three-point land.
And he will give Georgia Tech the lead with 0.4 of a second. Ray does not get it off. Chatfield was there anyway. And thanks to the heady play from Kowacie Reeves, it'll be Georgia Tech with the lead as they head to the locker room. The season, of course, they shot a season low 33% on Wednesday. Who are some of those guys Georgia Tech needs to make some shots?
Yeah, I think Fleming and Kraft combined 0 for 9, and those are 2 guys that have had some bright spots for the Jackets this season. I think they need to get one of those guys going.
And on the Monmouth end, they want to get Jason Rivera-Torres going, just 2 for 12 in the first half. Now he's 2 for 13, and Sylla walked with it.
Unfortunate break for the Jackets, and that where Sylla, you know, the youth comes out and shows, you know, it makes a great defensive play, and he should just pick that one dribble and gather. Tries to make something out of nothing. Ends up in a turnover.
9th turnover for Georgia Tech. Justin Ray off the inbound 3. Fleming earns Georgia Tech the possession. Couldn't hang on to the rebound, but last touch by Monmouth.
And Fleming can impact the game in other ways. He's 0 of 7 from the field, but that was his 4th rebound. He's a guy that can defend. He's got active hands, great length. He's a great athlete, can leap, really put hands and deflections on balls and rebound.
And another turnover in the opening moments of this second half is Justin Ray. Will pick up 2 points with a goaltend call there on Kowacie Reeves.
We talked about the half, the turnovers leading to easy offense, and that's what we saw in that possession. Washington over penetrates, and the Hawks going the other way. Reeves with the hustle, a little bit too late.
And what's been a little peculiar over this 3-game losing streak, John, is that the turnover number had actually dropped by better than half, from an average of 16 to 7 over the last 3 games. Of course, Tech lost all 3 of those games as Mouhamed Sylla flushes it.
Jackets had a +6 advantage in the first half on points in the paint. I think that's also important early on to establish some flow offensively, is try to get some drives to the basket or get it to Sylla with some paint touches.
Yeah, Sylla just 2 points in the first half. Spartalis off the mark with that hook. Washington trying to create a little space. Fleming a long 2, kisses the front of the rim, and lunging for it, Sylla. It'll stick with Monmouth. A little more effort there from Georgia Tech here in the early going.
I love Sylla's hustle on that play. He's got to be careful not to foul, but that's where the Jackets ball screen action, rim runs, and they can thread the needle. I think they just got to get more of that.
And there was a scoring change at halftime as well. Mouhamed Sylla now with just 1 foul. He had 2 assigned to him, but after reviewing, they changed that foul to Kowacie Reeves. Rivera-Torres draws the foul.
Monmouth's made a concerted effort, ball movement. They're setting good screens. They have good spacing. They have 4 guys on the floor that can go off the bounce. And they also have a nice lineup in right now for shooting 3 and stretching the floor.
Rivera-Torres along mid-range, won't drop.
Monmouth just 12 of 40 from the field in this game.
Yeah, Torres has taken 14 of those 40 shots, made just the 2, and another turnover.
Yeah, Torres, as we mentioned in the open, for those just tuning in, he's averaging 15 points per game on the season. He's coming off 3 consecutive 20-point games, and in this one, Jackets are holding him in check. He has 7 points.
He does lead Monmouth with 6 rebounds, also has a couple assists as well, so he's a big part of everything they do. Feeds down low, Spartalis missed the chip shot, and there's a tap in from Rivera-Torres.
The lefty hand, he's got great length, quick off his feet. Rivera-Torres tipped that one in with his left hand.
He's got a pretty good Q score too. He starred in the Kevin Durant Apple TV series as Mouhamed Sylla testing out the rim strength early in this second half. Rivera-Torres will not fall. It seems like the goal coming out of half was to get him going, John. Hadn't quite happened yet. Kowacie Reeves, a magnificent play. He'll get a breather horizontal on the hardwood.
And that was good pace offensively. Jackets 1 or 2 passes at the rim. Here we'll see the flow, the rim runs. We mentioned that the previous possession. Like to see him in rim runs, transition offense with the senior Reeves getting out. Jackets making an effort now to pick up the pace in this game. They don't want to get caught in a slow down half-court game. They've got athletes, they've got size advantage. I like those last 2 possessions for the Yellow Jackets.
And Kowacie Reeves, after a 23-point effort on Wednesday, he's got 15 this afternoon on just 7 shots. Jack Collins a little quiet today. He's played every minute thus far, every second.
Georgia Tech switching guard to guard on the perimeter, really packing in the defense.
Spartalis taking on Sylla, a couple international freshmen, and Spartalis wins that one. Spartalis out of Greece, Sylla out of Senegal. Mustaf tries to dive in baseline. Now it's Fleming, short corner, fade away, no. The freshman Fleming still trying to find that shot today. 0 for 9 now. Monmouth perhaps looking to pick up the pace a little bit. And soaring in, Rivera-Torres starting to find a little more confidence here.
He's now in double figures with 11. We're knotted up. Just about 15 minutes to play in this one. Monmouth Hawks gritting it out.
Lob entry knocked loose. The Monmouth Hawks, they put a scare into Syracuse.
Monmouth has 7 points on those second chance efforts, so he's a guy that can certainly impact the game when he's not dropping shots.
Cole Kirawak has checked in for Georgia Tech. He was a spark for the Yellow Jackets about midway through the first half. Shot clock's going to expire, and Lamar Washington didn't know.
Man, that's out of a dead ball situation. Not great execution. Damon Stoudemire wearing his emotion on his sleeve right there with the facial expression. Said, Wiley, he just said, I just drew it up. I just told them how much time was on the clock, and they couldn't execute. That's frustrating as a coach.
Now 12 turnovers for Georgia Tech. Justin Ray, he can stroke it a little bit. Georgia Tech has slowed him down today, though, as Cam Kraft with the rebound. Kraft thinks about a 3. Mustaf goes baseline, reverse, no.
That was great possession by the Jackets. 4 passes, wide open at the shot, no finish, but they get what they wanted.
Collins, a straightaway 3. Bullseye. Washington, tough shot, drills it.
We've seen that a couple times in the first half, his ability to get in the paint, gather, and make a strong finish. Now that's 2 miscommunications on the 3-point defense and on the transition offense right there. Jackets, the last 2 defensive possessions have struggled.
Today in the ACC, New Haven with the lead over Boston College, Dayton in a fight against, or Virginia in a fight against Dayton. Southern Miss and Miami are tied up in the second half.
UNC Asheville early on against NC State up 12-6. So it's a global game. There's recruits coming from all over. A lot more parity in your mid-major, high-major classic matchups.
You look at 2 of the players on the floor for Monmouth right now, Rivera-Torres and Spartalis. Rivera-Torres started at Vanderbilt, dropped 20 points in Alabama a couple years ago as a Commodore. And then Spartalis, in a lot of ways, he's a high-major player. The reason he's at Monmouth is because he played with Coach King Rice's son, and his coaches in Greece said, go play for Coach Rice.
King Rice has assembled a nice roster. They'll be super competitive once the regular season goes.
Washington, top of the key, 3, he's fouled by Rivera-Torres.
And in conference play, King Rice's teams in his time at Monmouth, 10 out of 14 seasons, they've finished above where the coaches ranked them preseason. So great teacher, great coach, over-delivers. There you see the foul off the basketball. And in a tight 1-possession game, these are the plays right there. You'll look back at 13:35 on the clock. If he's able to convert, King Rice will say, wish we had that possession back.
And not only is it 3 free throws for Washington, in the last 30 seconds, both Stefano Spartalis and Jason Rivera-Torres have picked up their 3rd fouls. So Spartalis, with a few parting words for the officials, he jogs back to the bench. It'll be Doc Mordar, 7'1" transfer from Cleveland State, wearing number 0 to come in. So tied at 44. We have had 4 ties and 15 lead changes today.
Monmouth's working clock. They've really done a great job today taking care of the basketball, Wiley. Only 3 turnovers in the entire game.
Rivera-Torres spinning in. Rises over Kelly. That touched every bit of the rim. And Mordar with the offensive rebound. He'll go to the free throw line.
We get a little replay on it. Sylla left his feet, and that's where the foul occurred. If he would have just stayed put, Wiley, with 2 feet on the ground and stayed vertical, could have been a clean play, but we'll see him late in this play. Leave the feet, boom, there's the body. You lose verticality, you have contact, automatic whistle.
And Doc Mordar hits the free throw. And if you take a look at the back of Mordar's jersey, you'll see it actually has his first name on the back of his jersey. And he says that in his country, they wear their first names on the back, and he had friends watching back home in the family, and they were confused, couldn't really figure out what was going on. And so he had him change it to Doc. And he hits them both. Monmouth back in front. Sylla goes up and finishes.
I love the competitive spirit by Sylla. You know, gives up a foul and some points on one end, and he erases that mistake, gets 2 back for the Jackets.
Jack Collins surveying, gets to Boog Robinson into the paint, had the mismatch on Washington, now contending with Sylla, disrupts the shot. And another rebound for Lamar Washington. He's got 7. Sylla on the other end. Swatted away by Mordar, but we got a whistle and a foul coming here.
I love the ability of Kelly to get off the ball. You know, it's kind of a one-timer. He caught it, eyes were up, great awareness and vision, and he really made that play on the pass to Sylla. And here we go, Wiley. Down the stretch, free throw shooting will be important. We've talked about it earlier. Sylla has struggled here. We'll see. Certainly, I know he's getting the reps in, he's practicing, but can it translate to games?
0 for 3 now on the day from the free throw line. For what it's worth, Georgia Tech outside of Sylla is 10 of 11 from the free throw line, so they've done a better job as a team. Got that one.
Coming in tonight, it was 14 of 36 from the line. And today, Sylla's now 1 of 4. But he does have 8 rebounds and 9 points. He's tracking a double-double.
And a foul coming here. Looks like it's going to be on Sylla. And that is his 3rd now. Picked up 2 quick ones. It'll be Jack Collins to inbound, the senior out of Manasquan, New Jersey. He's played every second of this one, 13 in blue. Justin Ray can shoot, penetrating, lost control, and now a foul coming here. And who's this going to be on? Going to be on Kowacie Reeves. That's his 3rd.
On the shot clock, baseline out of bounds situation. Ray's a good player. I mean, he can force it in there. He's strong with the basketball, pick up fouls. He's very good going north and south. He's got range on his shot. He's had some great games this season early on.
Long inbound, but Robinson runs it down. Ray finds space to get the shot off, swirls it in.
But you see right there, he's got another gear. I mean, more so than most players on the court right now. He can really go. He's athletic, he's quick, he's tight with the basketball. Finds his spot, gets a seam, and his elevation was tremendous. Big shot.
He's already scored more points this season than he did all of last year. And today he's got 9. Washington heaves it up, and a foul call on Mordar. And Coach King Rice cannot believe. And he's contending that Mordar was straight up. And Lamar Washington at 6'4". Do you get the benefit of the doubt sometimes when you're going up against a guy who's got 7-8 inches on you?
Should.
That's what Lamar Washington's saying. So he hits both free throws, and it's Georgia Tech now in front. But King Rice, part of that 1991 Final Four team for North Carolina. Said his most memorable game against Georgia Tech was here inside McCamish Pavilion when the Heels lost by 27 points as Justin Ray hits the free throw line jumper. And he was facing Kenny Anderson, a guy he had known for a long time and still to this day says was the best player he ever played against. Kenny was complaining that Kenny only had 9 points in the win, and King said, well, you had 17 assists.
That's one of the reasons why, you know, Bobby Kremen's name's on the court here. Kremen's court, he had great players. He was a tremendous recruiter, storied career. Jackets did the right thing and named the court after the legendary coach, Bobby Kremen's.
And of course, that team that beat North Carolina 102-75 would end up in the Final Four just a couple of months later in Denver. As Mo Sylla heads to the bench.
And, you know, Dennis Scott, his number was hung last year as he walked. He graduated, came back, did the degree. We see him on TV every week calling the NBA action. Came back and finished the degree. Yellow Jackets hung the number 4 in the rafters. He averaged 27 a game his junior year.
And for Dennis Scott, you mentioned Kenny Anderson only had 9 points in that game. Well, Dennis Scott, he had 37, so he kind of picked up the slack there from Kenny.
And don't leave out lethal weapon 3, Brian Oliver. And Reeves goes up, climb the ladder with the hammer.
All of a sudden, the energy's picking up a little bit as we approach the 10-minute mark, and this game is still airtight. Ray, bounce pass, Mordor trying to answer. Good box out by Kraft as Washington's got the rebound. Kerouac, little give and go. Washington, the extra pass. Kelly dialing up a 3 and connects.
Nice job of the Yellow Jackets. Passing, moving the basketball, spacing, getting back to the roots of the fundamentals, and they take the lead by 2.
And Jack Collins is fouled by Kraft. They do not give him continuation. That was an added emphasis this year, was to give him continuation, a little longer window across the sport. So it's going to be 2 shots.
King Rice just whistling. He didn't whisper. He said, y'all got to look at that. Y'all got to look at that. Yeah, point of emphasis this year was the continuation into the shot.
Yeah, I beg your pardon, no free throws at all being continuation, or not getting the continuation call.
That's what he was upset about. He thought it should have been a good basket.
There's 6 fouls now in Georgia Tech, so 1 and 1's coming. Duball way off the mark, but Robinson scurries underneath, collects the rebound, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Be interesting here if they have Kerouac or Reeves with the foul. I think they got Reeves on that one.
And if it is on Kowacie Reeves, that's his 4th, John.
Correct.
So he and Mo Sylla,
the leading scorer for the Jackets with 17.
Yeah, he and Mo Sylla each with 4. And a lot of basketball left to play. King Rice still fired up, giving Anthony Eads his opinion. So Kowacie Reeves heads to the bench with 4 fouls. And back on the floor now, Jason Rivera-Torres.
Robinson Jr. with the touch. Give him 7 points now in the game. He's got 7 boards to go with it. 20 minutes of play. He's made his mark on this game.
And we are back tied. And now Jack Collins incredulous at that foul call. A little bit of confusion here as to who the ball went off of. We'll say it went off of Collins. And And now Chaz Kelly at the point for Georgia Tech. 20 lead changes today. Still 9 minutes left. Cole Kowacie, who's burst onto the scene, dumps it off to Washington. Tries to feed it to Kraft. Instead, Collins ends up with it. Well, the Hawks run. Ray retreats. Boog Robinson. Oh, he gets the roll. You mentioned that touch, John. All of a sudden, Cornelius Robinson now got 9 points.
He took it right at Mustaf, and that's Mustaf's game as well. Two guys are very similar types of players.
Kelly feeds a cutting Kraft. Great cut from Cam Kraft and good eyes from Chaz Kelly.
With that bucket, that's Cam Kraft's first basket of the game. He's got 2 points, and I said it earlier, they need a guy like Kraft or Chatfield or Fleming to step up. They need some bench scoring.
Under 8 minutes to play in a tie game. Ray, tough shot. Kowacie rips away the rebound.
Ray missed short on that one. He held up the fist to King Rice on the way by, saying, I need a break.
It looks like Chaz Kelly might have been calling for a sub too. Well, we're gonna get a timeout on the foul coming here against Jason Rivera-Torres.
Certainly those 4 players need to be on the floor for their teams to have an advantage. I'll still say this, Wiley. This is gonna come down to second chance points. Who can take care of the backboard, and then turnovers. And the third in that would be right now free throws. Kraft will go to the line on the day. Monmouth's 8 of 12 from the line. Georgia Tech is now 14 of 18 from the line. It's a one possession game. You got to make every one count.
And Kraft hits them both. That is one area Georgia Tech has been far better at today, has been
Correct.
free throw shooting.
Shooting's been good. Georgia Tech, 13 turnovers in the game, Monmouth only 3, and that's why we see the discrepancy in field goal attempts. Monmouth's only shooting 36%. They've taken 58 shots in the game. Georgia Tech 44%, but they've only attempted 43 shots.
And it was kind of the opposite story on Wednesday when Georgia Tech took 16 more shots than Mississippi State.
And we are at the Institute of Georgia Tech, so we're just throwing numbers.
Yes, just throwing numbers around.
High frequency, above the shoulders type stuff, right?
Sometimes you get a little steam off.
Hey, man. 2-point game. Great game, and both teams have really battled.
So foul coming here on Cornelius Robinson. Georgia Tech is in the bonus. Lamar Washington is perfect at the free throw line so far today. He's put together quite a stat line. 16 points, that matches a season high. He's got 8 boards, tied for the team lead. Also leads the team with 6 assists.
And the 2 turnovers, so he's got a 3-to-1 ratio there. He's had a solid effort, 27 minutes of play.
So he now leads Georgia Tech in points, rebounds, and assists today. And for the first time since the 16-minute and 47-second mark, we have a multi-possession game. It's the largest the margin has been since Tech was up by 4 about 10 minutes ago of gameplay.
Jackets on a 6-0 run over the last minute 15.
Andrew Ball, a 3. Kowacie tries to come down with it. Collins wins it. Sportalis goes up, and he is fouled by Washington, who grabbed him around the waist. That's a big play there from Sportalis, who was doing that Spartacus sign earlier. He's a freshman out of Greece.
Well, you're really the Greek god in the building. Man, was I wrong. It's that green blazer you got on, man. You got the Greek colors, Spartacus.
We're compensating, John.
Look at him, man. Look at him.
It appears Mustaf is okay. You saw him grabbing his ankle there. He's still in the game. And Sportalis completes the 3-point play. Huge possession
great
there.
Size, though, huh? As a freshman, I mean, it's just thick. Doesn't look like your typical freshman.
6'9" at 220. Kraft, 3-2 strong. Collins soars for the rebound. 2-on-1, Ray to ball, reverse lay-in. Oh, just a tad short. Now the Yellow Jackets could get out and run. Washington pressing pace all the way in. He's got 20 points and the lead to 3. And a home run, a swing for Monmouth, and a turnover, and Coach Rice wants a timeout.
Yeah, that's 2 possessions right there, resulting in 1 turnover and 1 rush shot. And this, 6 minutes to play. He might be tracking a triple-double.
Yeah, first 20-point game as a Yellow Jacket. Had a 40-point game back in January against Washington State when he was playing for Pacific. Hard to imagine Washington coming off the floor at this point the way he's played. 4 seconds to shoot. He'll cut it loose. Race for the board. And it'll belong to Monmouth. Last touch by Kai Fleming. And for Georgia Tech, not having Baidongo, not having Mo Sylla with foul trouble. He's got 4 fouls. Dongo out with injury. Kowacie Reeves with 4 fouls on the bench. All of a sudden, you're asking guys who have not been in quote-unquote closing time to play these critical minutes.
Yeah, Kerouac's in there. It's an opportunity for growth.
And he's played more minutes today than he has all season, and what a big job protecting the rim.
He's like, I don't need to grow. I'm here. Look at my size. Boom, get it out.
And Fleming can't handle the pass.
Oh my, Georgia Tech just shooting themselves in the foot. Kerouac makes a great block shot. Gain the possession and then throw it right back. Look at the second effort.
He was a freshman. He reclassified, took a prep year at OTE, or I should say a post-grad year at OTE, and then spent a year before that at a prep school up in New Hampshire. So he's been a development project, but the tools are tantalizing. Justin Ray gives it back up to Jack Collins, the senior leader. Lets loose a 3. And Ball with the offensive rebound. Ray cutting in, going up. Can't finish, and there's Kerouac.
Couldn't ask for better shots from the Hawks right there if you're Coach Rice.
Kraft lines up a 3, off the mark. He has not found that shot today. Quickly the other way, and Monmouth, a second home run swing. Some sloppy turnovers for the Hawks. They had turned it over just 3 times in the first 3 quarters of this game, John. Now they've turned it over 3 more times.
And they're just 1 of 8 from the field in the last 8 shot attempts. Throw in the turnovers. Georgia Tech has a 1 possession lead with the ball.
Okay, Coach King Rice is letting Justin Ray hear about it there, as sophomore point guard. Kerouac. Washington with the runner, he got it.
Nice finish. Kerouac did a nice job erasing the defender with a little side body hip check.
Largest lead Georgia Tech has had in the last 12 minutes. Spartalis backing up on Kraft. A no-look feed. Robinson saves it. It's got to go up. And a shot clock violation. And that brings us to a timeout. The Yellow Jackets.
Monmouth has attempted 30 field goals in the second half and shooting just 36%. But the odds are you want to get more shots at the basket. They're doing that with offensive rebounds, turnovers that they're forcing on the other side of the ball. And so Monmouth finding a way to hang in there even though they're not shooting the ball well.
And Mo Sylla back onto the floor with 4 fouls. You know, John, a Yellow Jacket fan might point out it's hard to get those offensive rebounds if you make that shot.
Well, you're right about that, but Monmouth's got 9 second chance points in the second half to Georgia Tech's 0. And, you know, they're just, that's how they're hanging around. But Sylla trying to put him away. Close the door, big fella.
So the lead is up to 7 thanks to this 6-0 run. The foul's on Mustaf. It puts Collins at the line. He left it short. Collins, he's from the shore, born and raised Manasquan, New Jersey, or Manasquan, New Jersey, I beg your pardon. 4th year at Monmouth, trying to keep the Hawks in it.
He missed the front rim on the first one, knocks the second one down. He's played every minute of this game, has not been out.
Third nationally in minutes played. Or third in the conference, sixth nationally. Kraft looking for Sylla. Robinson doing all he can to shut him down. Kraft puts it on the floor, takes it to the hole, and cashes in. It's an aggressive take.
We said we needed to get some scoring out of Kraft in the second half. He's got 6.
And that matches Georgia Tech's largest lead of the game since it was 20-12. Spartalis, they needed that too. It's the first made basket for Monmouth in nearly 4 minutes. And now a foul far away from the basket coming against Robinson.
Spartalis with that basket, 14 points in this one. He's got 4 boards. This is where it's going to come down to free throw shooting, Wiley. Georgia Tech with a 2-possession game.
Well, Monmouth, they're shooting 74% as a team from the free throw line. That is best in the Colonial Athletic Association in an 11-team league. Meanwhile, Georgia Tech, as we mentioned, has struggled this year. Mustaf hits the front end of a 1-and-1.
And that's big because he was a 60% free throw shooter coming into it, 14 of 23 on the season, and that was a big free throw.
So back to a 3-possession game. Got to give the Yellow Jackets a lot of credit after shooting 65% from the free throw line on Wednesday. They are shooting 82% this afternoon and have missed just 1 of the 13 they've taken in this second half.
Yeah, I'm sure just getting a little confidence, that mental edge, getting in the gym, getting reps up. It's good to see some success from the hard work.
And what a play, Kowacie Reeves shutting down Rivera Torres, who has had a tough night tonight. He's now 4 of 20. He's coming off 3 straight 20-point performances as Washington lobs it. Sylla can't finish. The Hawks have got to go. Raised the top 3-point shooter on the floor. Heads inside. Now Robinson penetrates. Rivera Torres has it ripped away by Reeves again. Here comes Kowacie. And he is fouled and gets continuation. And 1 for Kowacie Reeves, who's got a chance for another 20-point performance this afternoon.
We'll get a look at it. What a play. Spectacular. Avoids the foul. The continuation, takes the contact and the bucket.
And he's
the gather. Boom. 1 hard dribble gather, and Ray gets the foul.
And he's playing with 4 fouls.
King Rice saying that's continuation and ours wasn't. He does have an argument there. We saw the play about 7 minutes ago in front of King Rice on the bench.
Yep.
I do feel like possibly an argument there that he would have.
And I think with the way that the NCAA has tried to get that called nowadays is you want continuation on both of those. And Robinson lays it in. Coach Rice calls timeout. So in Lafayette Leopards, who lost to Monmouth last week, Monmouth played them on the road, and then they've got Florida A&M. Of course, Marist is a team that could provide a challenge as well. And the foul here is going to be on Jack Collins. And that puts Lamar Washington back at the free throw line. And, you know, John, I think it's a safe bet 10 days from now Lamar Washington's going to be in that starting lineup. Made his first start of the season today, and he's got 22 points, 8 boards, and 6 assists.
Not bad. 23 points.
Nothing gets past you.
Keep stacking them.
And his first miss at the free throw line today, Sylla with the offensive rebound. And the largest lead of the day for Georgia Tech at 12.
So Sylla now with 13 points, 9 rebounds. 1 rebound shy of a double-double.
Bray clangs a 3, and Georgia Tech with possession and a 4-possession lead. Looks like the Yellow Jackets, thanks to a surge in the final 6 to 7 minutes, will snap this 3-game losing streak. Lamar Washington, player of the game. He'll join us as soon as this one is over.
Did a lot of his damage down the stretch, too. He had 14 points in the second half, and that's Reeves. He now has 11 points in the second half.
And has matched his career high with another 23-point performance. Timeout called by King Rice, and he'll get some of the players on the end of his bench a chance to take the floor here at McCamish Pavilion.
But the unselfish play, the pass by Mustaf, great spacing, ball movement, the good to great, and Reeves knocks it down. 23 points in this one. He's 7 of 10 from the field. That was his third triple with that make.
So Corey Miller, Lucas Orchard, Jack Leahy, Zubir Griffin, and Quinn Peters get a chance to take the floor as Griffin drains a 3. About a 2.5-second differential between game clock and shot clock. Coach Rice instructing his players not to foul. So the Yellow Jackets tied with Monmouth with 7.5 minutes left. Close out the second half strong on their way to their 6th win of the season, and they will snap the 3-game losing streak. Meanwhile, Monmouth will fall to 5-5. Another chance to build some confidence for the Hawks. They were with this Georgia Tech team up until the final 7 minutes. But our final score, Georgia Tech 79, Monmouth 67. Damon Stoudemire, King Rice, a couple of long friends. They've known each other over 30 years.